As you can see, I am recording.
Yes, indeedly.
Today's cold opening. We are back in the post-apocalypse. Last time, as you know, Pinchy grew to city size. They headed to Washington to fight Mole Man. Maude, Sam, Troy, Barb, and Eddie Pinkbeard Man riding a huge Pinchy arrive in Washington. Title: Rising from the Shadows. Interior: Washington dusk.
Action.
And action.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of T-shirt cannons. One of the four Todds saying, "No footlongs." And I saw, and behold, a huge red lobster.
Interior: Rising from the shadows. Interior: Washington dusk. The sun sets over the worn-torn city of Washington, D.C., casting long shadows across the ruins. In the distance, the colossal figure of Pinchy Simpson, the mutant crustacean, continues to grow, looming over the devastated landscape. Maude Flanders, Eddie Pinkbeard Man, Sam Barfly, Barb Belfry, and Troy McClure ride atop Pinchy's massive carapace as they approach the heart of the city.
I'm dropping the Flanders. It's just Maude again now. It's just Maudepocalypse. My surname is Pocalypse. Our journey has been long and filled with hardships, but we are almost there, on the brink of something new.
As we're drawing closer to our destination, we can see chaotic battle unfolding. Hans Moleman's mechanized army, with Todd Flanders among them, is clashing with the remnants of Disco Stew's child army. The once bustling streets have become a battlefield of child blood. We need to find a way to stop this madness, Maude.
And we must rescue Todd from Moleman's grip.
Pinchy's size is our advantage. Perhaps we can use it to our benefit.
I'll just have a gaze out at the chaos below, with this determination in my eyes. We have to reach Todd, and to a lesser extent Rod, but we also need to end this conflict. There must be a way to bring peace.
Oh, what is that blinding light engulfing the area, momentarily blinding us all? Oh, a mysterious person. She's holding a t-shirt that says The Oracle. Isn't that Lisa Simpson, but old?
Yes, that looks like an aged-up Lisa Simpson.
Greetings, travellers. Greetings, travellers. I sense your quest for peace and redemption. I offer irritating guidance in this time of turmoil.
Who are you?
My name is insignificant, but also Lisa Simpson. But purpose is clear. I possess knowledge that can help you achieve your goal. Here's a plan, strategy to stop war and save Todd while ensuring the safety of all the child soldiers. Oh, I can see this is already rekindling hope in your hearts.
It's a risky plan, but it's our best chance, Maude. You're the key to all of this.
We must do whatever it takes to end this suffering and rescue Todd, and to a lesser extent Rod. If it isn't the Oracle, the Apocalypse's answer to a question no one asked.
Let us get on, Pinchy, and ride forward, navigating this treacherous battlefield and using his massive form to shield us from harm. Now we approach the heart of the conflict.
Todd, what a haunted expression he is wearing next to Mole Man, his new dad.
I don't want to do it. Doesn't speak in that voice, does it?
I don't want to do this anymore.
Come here, Todd. It's me, your mother. Jamaican. Todd, it was me, your mother. We can find a better way together.
Mom? Snip, snip, snap, snap.
Oh my goodness, my ears. Pinchy Simpson has unleashed a deafening roar that's resonating through the city. It's grabbed the attention of literally everyone on the battlefield and froze them in their tracks.
It's time, my son.
Where is Rod?
Together they step away from Mole Man, their actions, leaving him just standing there as if they could have done that at any time, as he was no trouble. Their actions inspiring others to question the senseless violence around them. Suddenly the child soldiers lower their disco weapons and the battle subsides.
Well, thank you for your plan, Oracle. That was very nice of you.
No problem. It's succeeded and a fragile peace has emerged in the ruins of Washington.
The dust has settled. What happened to Moleman's mecha suit?
He's gone through a plot.
Oh, well, that's good.
I red pilled it.
I see. Let's have a better future then, shall we?
Starting now. White House, interior, night.
In the wake of this conflict's end, I, Maud Flanders, Maudepocalypse, have been elected the new president, chosen to lead the survivors towards rebuilding and reconciliation. My presidency symbolises a fresh start, a beacon of hope in these trying times. We stand here today, not as conquerors, but as survivors. Together, we will rebuild, heal, and forge a better future for whoever.
As President
And we are-
Maude addresses the people, a small group of survivors, mostly child soldiers and corpses, addresses the people. The camera pans to Pinchy Simpson, who watches over the city like a guardian, a symbol of unity that can emerge from even the darkest of times.
Now, Todd, before we cook up a corpse and we'll have a lovely corpse meal.
Maude, it's a Maud Goodman cast. Cutie, Rod and Todd on the land reporting a bully. Maud, so gentle in her pajamas she's concerned. In clip 3, there's a lesson we all should learn. In clip 2, they're in the graveyard. Bark with his cool bike in a future he'll unfold, kissing his granddad's stone. In a time where world moves so fast, Maud by the canyon in the casual attire with her sweet presence in the distant land, thanking for kindness in the hours so long. In Homer's world where friendships may go wrong, it's the Maud Flanders Interweb Museum 100, episode 100, the end.
The last ever episode.
I would have thought it. We made it right to the very end. But let's tarry no longer. Who's that at the door? Knock, knock, knock. Ding dong.
It's a man dressed in medieval clothing, carrying a lute in one hand and a basket of eggs in the other.
Hello, I'm ex Sacramento Lee. I'm cheeky, and I'm the main character of this show from this point forward. Yes, I'm wearing medieval clothing as you described, and for those with hard of sight, I'm carrying a lute, ding, 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 put some lute music in there, and a basket of eggs for you all. I hope you've got some good old-fashioned inspiration here. I need some material for my next gig. Oh, look at all the various exhibits. Can I just have a look inside?
Yes.
Ah, Maud Flanders, she had a way with words, didn't she? I wonder if she ever tried her hand at poetry.
I beg to differ.
Welcome to the Maud Flanders Internet Museum and Database. I'm Brother 1. This is my brother, Brother 2.
Brother, we're big fans of yours, ex Sacramento Lee. We've heard your music and poetry, and we think you're amazing.
Oh, I'm blushing. Well, thank you. I tried to keep it fresh and cheeky.
Exactly.
We were
Fresh and
hoping
freaky.
we would open fresh and freaky. We were hoping you would perform some of your work here at the museum. We think it would be a great way to celebrate Maud's legacy. I like the sound of that, but I cannot use these eggs as props. I've got an idea for a new song.
Eggs as props. What kind of song is that?
Hee hee, you'll have to wait and see, but in the meantime, I need a job. What can you give me to do?
You hired?
Brilliant.
We need someone to rewire the computers in the computer room.
I'm done. I'm an expert at that stuff.
Where are the eggs? You went in there with 12 eggs. Have you put eggs in the computers?
No comment. Hee 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 hee.
Anyway, let's get on with some sponsors.
Exactly. Did you do any this week?
Not sure what you mean. Just hold on, let me just tie my shoelace.
On closer inspection, these are loafers. I'll go first.
Oh yes, please
Sponsor
do.
Onion. I haven't got mine. Sponsor Onion, winner of sponsor race. $200,000. A museum somewhere. A mod museum somewhere. A villain. But he won fair and square, so we're honouring our what we told him. We told him he was going to have a spot every week, and now we're committed to that, even if he is trying to burn us down from the inside.
Squawk, squawk. I think that's him at the window there.
Cheeky bastard.
In the world of Marvel, where heroes rise and fall, there's a story of betrayal that I must recall. Eric Payne of Queenstown, a hero so bold, but little did he know how his story would unfold. I believed in you and I trusted you, he cries, his faith in a friend now torn and denied. You used me, and I don't like being used. In the face of deception, I feel so abused. Daryl Slayer, Eric Payne, the hero's name, caught in a web of lies. It's not a game. Agents of fortune, a demon cult's deceit, unlocked his psionic potential. Oh, what a feat. Mystically created a dimensional cloak. From Gemini and exogenesis shadows it spoke. David's temporary, a mystical hand. In a twisted world where humans must stand. I believed in you, and I trusted you, I cried. Devil Slayer, remitted to an asylum. In the shadows he read, in the shard of the nexus of realities, secrets well kept. Hawaiian initiative team, we try to understand. The point men, the shadow cloak, they lend a helping hand. Delroy's star sign and pay dirt. In his battle bents the darkness. To the hospital they journeyed in search of the truth. In a world of heroes where justice was their youth. In the world of Marvel where the heroes will rise. Devil Slayer's story is a tale of surprise.
Okay. Thanks, chatbot. The Devon Maid, explaining how things would walk. How would the ladies of Springfield walk? The Devon Maid. We, the Maudecast, challenge you.
How would a biscuit dance if it was Maud Flanders?
He's-
What noise would it make with its heart, with its arms? Sponsor, Jungle Rex's Hot Dog Hot Sauce. In the jungle, Jim's the name we're here to proclaim. Fiery Foods is again, and it's quite insane. 1,500 hot sauces, spices that will rock your socks. Barbecue sauces, rubs and wings, let's turn up the clocks. From mild to wild, we've got it all in stock. In our fiery department, we'll make your taste buds talk. Just mind the fire truck, and don't you hesitate to taste flavors around the world. It's a spicy fate. Jungle Rex triple sock blower, we're on fire. Hot sauce sensation take you higher and higher. From Chipotle to Quetzalcoatl, we've got the thrill. Feel the heat on your tongue. It's a fiery food thrill. Want to spice it up? Well, we've got the remedy. With salsas and mustards, it's a flavor symphony. We're serious about fiery foods, and that is our creed, Breton. Come on down to Jungle Jim's, will satisfy your fat one. From mild to wild, we've got it all in stock. Just find the fire truck. Now, Reg Woffington, he's the CEO in the know. MIA, RIP, it's time to let the flavors flow. A moment of fire will glisten on your tongue. With triple sock blower, there's nothing we can do. So come on down to Punt Smoosher. Don't delay. Experience the flavor explosion in your own way. With Rex's creation, we'll ignite the night. In a world of fiery foods, it's always a delight.
Sorry, did you say punt smoosher?
I believe Punt Smoosher, I'm not sure how that fits into his story. Buy it at Punt Smoosher.
Neither did Let's Turn Back All the Clocks, but I liked it.
That was a chatbot invention.
I would never have sponsored Nando's. Why did the chicken apply for a job at Nando's?
To cross the other road.
Because they heard they have a brilliant work environment. Nando's. Why didn't the Nando's menu say to the customer who couldn't? What did the Nando's menu say to the customer who couldn't decide what to order?
Just make your mind up.
Don't be so periplexed. Just wing it.
Very good.
Why did the chili pepper refuse to work at Nando's?
I don't know.
Because it couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen.
But enough of that. Ding dong.
Almost. There you go. Watch that.
Category is Ugliest Dress Wins. First up, serving early 2000s council estate realness.
Well, someone.
Giving SGN to base or basic bitch eleganza.
Bring Louis the flipping of fans.
Wearing Lala Ree's infamous bag ball dress from season 13 of Drag Race, you know the one.
New Goldman.
Serving up her best Ugly Betty cosplay.
The Stefana.
Befana's nose.
Very nice.
Recreating Jiggly Caliente's infamous baked potato look from season 4 of Drag Race, you know the one.
Louis Load.
Is next, and he's come as a sick colored bath mat.
Win Swan.
Which one?
Wearing a Shrek vest and nowt else.
The Devon Maid.
Dishing out Karen on a jungle-themed hen-do extravaganza.
Next, the Bling Bling.
Literally just wearing shitty nappies.
When you
Nice.
serving up Sketty Neon Demon.
There.
Spooky.
And finally, handing over some pantomime dame bullshit.
That's so lonely.
Exactly. In my mind, the Devon maid wins this week.
In my
Because we're
mind,
all with it.
in my mind, it's the shitey nappy dress.
Oh yes, thanks to Polo Umblies for the narration.
M7.5.
Hi, it's me, Grovelly Poncho. It's not just all about the fashion, but it is mostly because Nathan says O'Leary forgot to do this part. Here is what went down in the episode. The challenge was, go tell it on the mountain, the rock opera. The winner was La Befana. The wettest blankets were King Louis XIV and death. The secret flan ball assassin was Molly Baxter. La Befana won the flan ball and gave King Louis XIV the Outside the rumpus room door, Muriel Goldman and Death smoked some cigarettes together. Whilst Rex Woofington and Republican actor Vince Vaughn also smoked some cigarettes together. But separately from the other two, Shady Queen, To the Moon and so forth. The Earth is made up of terry lean patches. I swore I wouldn't. Season 2. I'm Grovelly Poncho.
Ding dong. Oh, who was that? It looks like there's a kestrel of yesteryear just kind of like hanging around near the front door. He once again is messed in a medieval costume, but this time has a hood and feathered kestrel wings on his back. Ding dong.
He looks like he's muttering to himself.
I hope this museum has some knowledge about ancient falconry techniques. I must learn everything there is to know about the noble kestrel. I can't help but notice that most things, unfortunately, are about Simpson's character, Ned's wife. Some Maude Flanders gardening tools? Scratch, scratch, scratch. What do gardening tools have to do with falconry? This makes no sense. Welcome to the Maude Flanders Internet Museum and Database. I'm Brother 1 and this is my brother 2.
Hello, my brother. We're huge fans of yours, Alan Windfluffer. We've read your books on falconry, and we think you're a true master of the craft.
Well, I thank you. I do pride myself on knowledge of the kestrel. We were hoping you could give a talk on the connection between falconry and gardening. Maude Flanders was an avid gardener, and we think it would be a fascinating topic to explore. I'm not sure of the connection, but I can give it a shot.
Well, that's good. You want a job as well?
Actually, I'm a little bit down on my luck. Have you got any jobs going?
Yeah, I just asked you that. Would you like one?
Sorry, I'm deaf as a post.
What?
Sorry, what?
Who?
Who? When?
You're hired.
Sorry, who? Me?
Here's a mop.
When? Oh,
Go
thanks.
And,
Go and garden. Can I garden with this mop? Yeah, do the gardens. Yeah. Go do the gardens, Kestrel.
You want to see our face in those blades of grass.
We'll be back later. When I go to the toilet, Nathan will talk to you.
Yes.
Anyway, so what about the Mauditorium? All hail copper imperialism or something. That's all gone now, hasn't it? Jeff's just getting rid of a blank check, hasn't he? We don't need to say any of that anymore. What do we used to say? All kinds of nonsense, right?
All hail the Mauditorium.
I think so, but you had a special Mauditorium for today, right?
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I need a shirt! Give me a shirt!
So this is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the part where Maude Flanders dies, spoiler. So Homer's shouting, you dirty, filthy people, shoot t-shirts at my torso. Yes. Ralph Wiggum's pointing at his jiggling boobs, and Maude, she seems okay at this point, but very soon she's had enough.
Like that.
Yeah, I wish.
Leading to her death. It is her own lack of patience with Homer Simpson that ultimately leads to her death.
It could be speculated that
Nettie,
happens.
I've had about all I can take of Homer.
Get off. Stop whining. She goes for some and then...
It's a t-shirt!
That's a damn lie and you know it!
That's a great line. This is my favorite line in this scene. That's a damn lie and you know it.
Give me a shirt!
You
No
heard
problem.
it, girls!
Yes, footlongs. So he paints his chest with the ketchup.
Hey, t-shirt!
And he wiggles his big fat belly.
Fire!
Now we all know what's going to happen, right? Maude comes back, and she's just. We see the t-shirts flying through the air. It's a great thunk. We haven't heard for a little while, right?
We have not.
Ooh, a bobby pin!
No!
Oh, who is that? Who's that masked man?
It might be me. I forgot this is what we were doing already.
And
that
so
looks like it's me. Oh!
It looks like it's you, and you jumped in, and you somehow were hit by the t-shirts, and we cut to Maude kissing Neddy And then we fast forward 50 years to a wonderful story. So basically, in this Mauditorium, you, unbeknownst to us all, saved her life.
Yes, I entered the world of Springfield and did it.
That's going to happen
Stuff
though
like-
in like season 12, isn't it? That you basically just spoiled the end of our
Not
entire.
really, because we spent
arc.
the entirety of season 7 or 6 of the Mauldcast in Springfield with me attempting to find a way to do this.
But we're going to do it. We're going to go back to just before it happened, right?
Oh yeah, spoilers. Well, this is the last scene
Brilliant.
of the Mauldcast then.
It is. It's the end. Goodbye.
Yes, in real world terms, I just remember that the balloon manticore's got a green screen, so we were just trying out some ideas that were natural. And this,
Why did they get a
obviously-
green screen?
Why not?
Why not? They still have it.
Yes, well, they have a green cloth, a big
They make
green,
mucky movies in space.
exactly, space,
Mucky manticore in space.
exactly, MMS. But yes, they do not. And in this particular occasion, I am the one
And the
to
walrus.
undo the damage. But if this had happened in the show, I suppose we would still have a mod cast because I would now be a character, but it would be we'd have a Nathan cast, Zaz cast.
Well, the Simpsons, what they could have gone two ways is that this character could have immediately not appeared much, but then kind of become more popular over the years and appeared more, or they could just never have never appeared again. Which way do you think it would have gone?
Probably the second one, Graggle. Reminds
too.
me of maybe I'm similar to that man who said Ned Flanders is in trouble back when the Leftorium was in trouble.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. What happened to Ned Flanders in trouble, man?
we never he died.
The mysterious and lonely death. Shall we get into some content?
Let us.
Let us pray. What? Some context for this content?
2 week ones. Well, one definitively week one interesting one if you try, and then we're up to the big day for her.
Iconic, innit?
Her big, I think genuinely her biggest adventure to date. Even
Okay.
in the Simpsons television show,
This
I
is the
would
one
say
where she gives baby, right?
no,
Oh,
she does not give baby.
wait,
This
one.
is the one where they go to the Grand Canyon.
Wait one. QT Rod and Ton are phoning someone, probably the police. Hello, we'd like to report a bully. And they are pajamas and concerned. And I'm saying this is the least Maude appearance ever. If you are claiming that third of a picture is a Maude appearance.
Yes, worst clip ever is my first note. I will openly hold my hands up and say worst clip ever.
Worst Maude
But-
clip for sure, but I like the clip itself. It was sweet how they were reporting a bully. And who were they reporting it to?
They were reporting it to the police, and they were reporting Homer for bullying Ned. I think there is
That's
a
very
story
funny.
there. Like the episode's called Bully. I can't really remember what it is, but there is a whole sort of like the town take bullying super serious, and then it gets to the point where like Rod and Todd are like, "Oh yeah, you've been bullying our dad for years, and you killed our mum."
They say
Apparently
that?
she's in
They
it.
don't say that though.
No, they don't say that. She's according to the Simpsons wiki, the good one, she's in this episode. It says, but this is all I can find. So I
Ooh.
will go back again. But this is one of the ones where I ended up just watching the episode. I think. Maybe I didn't.
Is it a fun one?
Clearly not. I don't remember. I have no memories of it whatsoever.
We'd like
Season
to report a bully.
26 as well. So this was like 8 years ago already.
I know. 27, clip 2, 27. So this is like already skipped forward. Well, that's almost the end of season 26. So it's only 9 or 10
Yeah, she was
episodes
in
out.
26 quite a bit, but yeah, I'll double check that. I just wanted to go into it having not checked because I like that that's the only current
I want to go into it blind.
reference to her. Yes, GID.
Okay, season 27, episode 9, Barthood. Bart is in the graveyard and he looks like he's a teenager with a cool bike and a fringe. He is at Abraham Simpson's grave and BF and Mutant out near, it says. And in the background, a MF grave, but a different one. What happened in the future, I asked, as he kisses the gravestone of Grandpapa.
Good question. As you can probably tell from the title of this episode, it's just a Boyhood thing, but with Bart, the movie Boyhood.
Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's that one where they filmed it over like 20 years.
Oh, all right. Sounds rubbish.
It's very good. You are incorrect, but it's got Patricia Arquette in it from Monica from
Okay.
Friends. Yes, so that's what they're doing here. So they've just taken liberties. They always this is one of the looser futures. So we've seen a few futures, especially these. They seem to just love going into the future.
Oh, it's easy, innit?
It's consistent, but they only did it like maybe 3 times in like before like season 14, and then they've done it many times since.
Right.
Oh, I did write because you can't really see what it says, so I went on to Disney Plus to what it's kind of clearer to see what the grave said. And
Yes.
some very strange ones. None of the some of the big hitters are missing. There's no Bleeding Gums Murphy grave.
Okay.
As he first rides in, you see Grimey's grave, and it just says Frank Grimes on it. There's no joke. It just says Frank Grimes.
Weak.
Jebediah Springfield's grave is there for some reason. First to arrive, first in the ground. The Great Romando, and now for my last trick, I assume is a magician that's died at some point.
Very bad.
Rabbi Hyman Krustofsky, this is probably the worst one. Rabbi Hyman Krustofsky, my son is a big disappointment, which is it's just too on the nose.
Ooh.
Abraham Simpson, beloved father and mutterer.
Oh, I thought
And
it
the
said mutineer.
No, that would be cleverer, and they don't have time for that. The weirdest one is it says Mrs. Emily Mercer. Ms. Emily Mercer, school librarian. I regret that I have nothing to regret. Not a character. And
Ooh.
also seemingly not a reference to like a quote. And then Maude Flanders. What do you think Maude said? It only says 2 words. It says beloved something.
Hunt.
It's not the Larry David. It's not the Larry David answer.
Ah, mom.
It says beloved scold.
that's both very poor and nonsensical.
Yeah, so I looked at what scold meant in this sort of context, and it's a shrewish, chiding woman. I don't really know what chiding means, so
Like someone who tells people off all the time, like nagging.
for more of a Helena description, I would say that they've not really nailed Maude's
No,
grave
they
in
don't
this
tell
one.
me anything about it. Very poor indeed.
What I can assume over time, because it's happened before, is that Springfield's probably just been destroyed 4 or 5 times. So these aren't the original graves of these people, and the bodies are long gone. Yeah, it's funny.
Here lies Maude Flanders, flanderized by fate. Now
That's
resting
better.
in now resting in Ned's leftover serenity. Watch out for falling objects and the occasional leftorium sale. That's actually
Better.
strange but funny.
That's the best thing chatbot's ever written. We have a chatbot special coming out soon as well, or at some point with where I asked chatbot to tell me what the Maude and then some of the cast characters' most famous quotes were, and they're great.
Nice.
I also got to do Roswell's, and there's one. It's like Miss Hoover or Kashmir or something. It's just like, why won't this end?
He's nailed this, hasn't he? The ghost in the machine has become sentient. In heaven, she's probably organizing angelic bake sales. Gone but not forgotten, even by Bart's catapult. Diddly in life, diddly in death, she diddly her best. Forever in Ned's prayers and ours too, I guess. Remembered for her laugh and her surprisingly strong umbrella game.
Again, all better.
All better than what was it? Mob Chonk?
Yes, exactly.
Clip 3.
Sad bits.
Season 27, episode 19, Gland Canyon, buckle up. They are stood by high-def pink school bus, casually Candy, Lenny White, HJ, Modge, Carl Black, Ned, dungarees, more dressed in casual. Tim Lovejoy is addressing them. Caption says 2 hours that felt like 8 hours later. Thank you all for spending this time the day thinking of others instead of yourself. Homer references looking down and grubbing Saturday. It was a Saturday. Now a reward to the most selfless cleaner, a family vacation to the Flat Canyon. The winner, Ned Flanders. Jar surprises. So surprise, surprise, the guy who did the best job wins. And we see a saucy face-forward Maude approaching Ned with a smug look on her face. She looks with a live at Neddy, and he says, oh, look at the pamphlet. Hike, rafting, that's about it. Up to 6 people.
8.
Oh, this gift certificate is for 8 people. Hey, Reverend, we'd love it if you and Helen Childless would join us.
Jessica.
H. Lovejack is gesturing. No, 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 no. Face forward, Helen Lovejack. She gestures by shooting herself in the head and saying, no friends.
Yes, exactly. This is a strange one. Do you want to finish it up before
Maude is sweet and wide-eyed, hopeful, but Helen is making all kinds of signs. Not Flander, she makes sign and holds it up as Tim bluffs for time.
Precisely. Several things. firstly, design. We mentioned last week about the age thing and the eyeshadow making it look older, and I'm going to double down on that. I think that it does. I think she looks a lot older here than she did in the customized jazz omelets or whatever she said. Look at that.
Customized jazz omelets.
Helen has a very pointy nose. Helen and Maude are two of the, not that this is groundbreaking information for us, but two of the harder ones to draw face forward because the nose is sort of, it just looks right on the 3/4 angle and no other.
Helen and Maude are two characters played by Maggie Roswell in The Sims.
I don't know who that is. Is that
That'll-
Bart?
That'll be £4,000, please. You know what I noticed this week?
What?
I reckon the guy from Spinal Tap plays Ned Flanders.
It's possible, yeah. The one, Saul's brother.
Go in the middle.
Yes, the left one. In relation to this content, I remember this one coming out. I remember knowing the episode Fland Canyon was coming out, and it was a flashback, so I was already locked and loaded.
On my
For
edge,
this one.
on the edge of my seat.
Yes, and it annoyed me that she doesn't. So I wasn't as appreciative as maybe I would have been not knowing, because this entire first scene she does not speak. So it just sort of irritated. I didn't know how much more we were going to get at that point, so I just thought this must be the longest scene that she's actively a part of where she doesn't say a single word.
Yes.
Like she's just stood next to him the entire time for like not like 30 seconds, like a full like 2 minutes or whatever. This is our clips like 3 through 4 are all one long scene. But
Yeah, it's
just
motionless,
nice.
motionless and blinking, isn't it?
Yeah, which is nice for us. And I do like, again, another new outfit, a rambling sort of, or like casual clean up on a Saturday outfit. And she's got a weird little necklace on. I don't know if you noticed.
No, I couldn't get a good look, but I think later in the clips we do get a good look, right?
Yes, if you scroll down slightly, I think you did get a good look.
Oh yes, yes I did.
So I wonder what that represents. The only other issue I have with this is the Helen stuff is not. I know we're just sort of beating a dead horse by saying it's not funny anymore. But
it's also not character. It's like the Holy Rollers hanging around together like a lot. So and I can't imagine anything really changed. So this doesn't really make sense. This is a generic joke about a generic family that people do, generic characters. This isn't Ned and Maude with Helen and Tim. That's poor. It's very poor.
I agree. This is not, because Tim would already be all over the fact that like Tim would want to go less than Helen. He wouldn't need Helen to prompt him into being like, oh no, you should go with someone else. Because we've already, fully set up the relationship at this point between these two couples, not being they're not like the best of friends, but it wouldn't be this like, oh, not Flanders. She also, what's the point of writing not Flanders? Like, it's not a joke. If anything, it irritates me.
I hope someone got fired for that.
And you've got like the build up that you can hear the squeaking.
I think you didn't hear me. I don't think you heard me. I hope someone got fired for that. I said
blunder. Exactly.
Please listen carefully to my quips.
The squeaking of the pen, so you think there's a joke coming, and then it just says not Flanders.
And record. Yes, it's very, very poor writing indeed.
Go tell it on the mountain. Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers. Clip 3.
Yeah, no, it's poor. I don't think they spore a thought for any of these characters in this scene, Maude particularly.
Yeah,
and once again, I feel like this is the second week in a row where we're in this flashback just because Homer's telling a story to like Maggie. Homer's just trying to help Maggie fall asleep.
Oh,
So now, there's no. I think they thought of the title Fland Canyon, and then they were like, again, just. Well, if we set it in the past, it can be slightly funnier because he doesn't have 2 dead wives.
I know. There's so
really
many more wacky ways that would have been fun. It would have been more fun, I think, for a modern day Ned and Rod and Todd to go with the Simpsons for some convoluted.
Yeah, because again, you can build on things that you don't have to then undo at the end of the episode. Whereas anything they do in this episode happened before Maggie was born, so it doesn't change the dynamics that we've already. Or it can't change the dynamics that we've already seen too much.
The tragedy of the prequel, isn't it?
Yes, but
I know where Han Solo got his hat from.
Exactly. What did Willy Wonka do in college?
What was Willy Wonka's buzz ride to school every morning like? I watched that trailer and I thought that is awful. That looks awful. Go
The
on.
man looks like he's never seen whimsy in his life.
Tim
is my favourite.
Shalabond has never seen whimsy. He's such a dull and little bird type actor.
Yes, I kind of agree. I don't dislike him, but I agree that
Oh.
he is relatively dull.
I do not dislike him at all. I think he'd make an absolutely fine burger
Lord
salesman.
Voice. Yes.
But as a Hollywood actor, following Johnny, he's prequel Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was basically playing Michael Jackson as Willy Wonka and doing an over-the-top job. And then they got Tommy Chalamet, and he's basically like, how may I help you, sir? What would you like fries with that?
What was he like before he was
I've got-
wacky?
Exactly. But mother, I've got to make chocolate. Okay, I'm not going to stop you. Oh, it's actually quite simple. I found a tiny little Hugh Grant.
Thousands of them.
That'll make the next hour bearable.
Exactly. Look at
Jeez, you had to go and ruin it. Clip 3. Tim is this Tim, and I said, you know what I've noticed? So Tim Lovejoy, I reckon that's the Spinal Tap guy.
the radio presenter.
Yeah, he puts his arms around Ned and Maude and walks them towards the Sumsums. Of course, we'd like to join you, but I noticed that you and Homer haven't been the closest friendly neighborunos, if you get the diddly. We get a great ducky side, Maude, young Maude, Ned. I think the Lord would want you to take the Simpsons on this trip. High def Maude. Our Lordy asks Ned, and Ned says, our Lord? And Tim Lovejoy, Spinal Tap says, yes, our Lord. For would it not be indeed by glorious if in visiting a natural chasm, the quarrelling neighbours would somehow bridge the chasm of their own discord, and he does the priest finger thing with sly eyes. Well, I guess by Job we could accept his burgers. Maude is looking on motionless and blinking like the good old days, which it is. In America it's pronounced job, says Flanders, Job Flanders, says Homer J. Huff and Puff with his arms folded. We can settle it when we're zipped up together in a sleeping bag, he cheerfully and creepily states, as Maude sideways eyes him. Did she already shoot Homer's man penis with binoculars in a similar time period? Remember, she was in a tree and she got a blow dart and threw like a poison blow dart into his knackers. Can't remember exactly what happened in that episode, but something like that. And Jar says, welcome aboard, hapless Neddy.
Yeah, I'm trying to piece together why this happened at all. I think they did just want, I think story-wise it would have been better to do it now, but comedy-wise, in quotation marks, is Homer being mean to Ned, and they don't really, it doesn't play as well with Two Dead Wives, does it, as with Stead, so they just set it in the past.
TDW.
They also gives you a chance to see cute Ron and Todd, but I'd say this is supposed to be like maybe like 2 years ago. So this is like the closest flashback we've had to Simpsons Maude. And I think in this clip particularly, she is acting a bit Simpsons Maude. Like the Maude we knew later on would have just said no in a similar way to Helen.
Yes.
But quiet, undeveloped Maude would just be like, oh, I guess we're going on holiday with the Simpson family then.
So, but I guess Maude was this is not Jerkass Ned, is it? This isn't the Jerkass wedding day Ned.
No, he's being kind of nice, and she can sort of see. She has been shafted a bit here, though. Like, she's done the best job cleaning alongside Ned. Won a family holiday now. It's just immediately been like, well, I would rather have not gone. I'd rather have not done the best job cleaning, so I didn't have to go on this holiday.
But we all feel, isn't it? Sometime in our life, but
exactly. I think the approach Maude takes on this trip is, I'm not letting them ruin it for me.
I'm not going to die for that man today.
Exactly. The Lovejoy line from the Spinal Tap guy is a very good performance. I think when he's saying the stuff about chasm, it's very preachy, and I think he does Lovejoy particularly well. I would have rather seen the Lovejoys and the Simpsons. No, that's not true.
I would have rather see Dave Lee Travis play Macbeth.
Exactly. Timothy Chalamet's Macbeth with Dave Lee Travis.
Timothy Chalamet's Macbeth.
Exactly. June 7.
Here we go. This is the guy, right? This is the guy from The Simpsons.
To what we use on stage, but it's very, very special because C will go to 11. Look, right at the board. 11, 11.
Brilliant. It's a good joke that as well. If anybody ever says anything that's like, 10 out of 10, you can say, but these go to 11 and everyone will get it.
Exactly. Everybody will get it.
Everyone will get it. Even people who don't even know what's his name, the Spinal Tap guy.
Harold Shearer.
Harold Chalabong.
Exactly.
Doctor.
Over the hills and everywhere.
TikTok Shearer. DHS.
Clip 3.
No.
Clip 4. Season 27, episode 19. Canyon iconic. Is it just the Simpsons are hanging over the rail, glumly waiting when we suddenly hear...
Go tell it on the mountain.
Over the hills and everywhere.
Go tell it on the mountain. That Jesus Christ is born.
Born, 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 born.
Go tell it on the mountain.
Over the hills and everywhere.
Go tell it on the mountain. That Jesus Christ is born.
And there's little cheeky Lisa Simpson there. We hear the sound of Ned wafting and Go Tell It on the Mountain. Do we still use that as the theme tune, I ask? And that and then that iconic march. Over the hills and everywhere, go tell it on the mountain. Young Maude is sweetly belting out as the family approaches the Simpsons and they round it off in the face of Homer J. Simpson. Roswell and Spinal Tap duet, I say. There is a windy, quiet pause when Neddy does the vaudeville step, and they're all ready for it as they launch back into one more verse. And Maude ends with a neutral face, but a face of joy, as Homer Simpson says octopus 3 times a junk.
That is a junk. This is one of the ones that when we started this 12 years ago, I anticipated reaching because it is one of the seminal Maud Flanders clips, but I think it's just because she's singing. In terms of character development, it's not. It's just because you get to hear Maud sing for a
When we started, this was only a couple of years old, right? So what are they on 32 now? So I think they were only on 30 when we started.
I'm 35 now.
No.
35 starts like this month.
Hadaway and shite.
It's shite. Head away and shite. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is Jeff? Baby, don't love me. Apple, Jeff Apple, Space Apple, Jeff Apple. The best.
Exactly. So this is 8 years ago now.
Blimey.
So it would have been 5 years ago when we started this.
3 years ago, it would have been 5. 3 years ago, it would have been 5 years ago.
10 years ago, it would have been 2 years in the future. However, I like it because there is, again, at this point, it just feels like somebody who works there likes Maud Flanders and wants to see more of her, Max Stone Graham. And this is one of our big talking points at the start was Maud does not sing outside of this in the I Got You Babe, and then you proved me wrong like 6 weeks in a row or something. But this is definitively the only time you hear Maggie Roswell send the microphone singing on her own, written by J. Stewart Burns.
Right.
But not Mr.
Grandson of Mr.
Exactly.
Right.
Because she's still wearing a cleaning outfit, which is quite strange, but Ned is just wearing his regular outfit, but Maude is the only one here, ka-ching, that is where like her normal outfit would not be practical for a Grand Canyon trip.
True.
Whereas the boys and Neddy are fine. I think Ned's going to be a little warm because he's got like 5 jumpers on if we're going off what we already know.
Yes.
Or maybe at this point he was pudgy and then he lost lots of weight at some point, but I don't think that's the case.
He's packed, isn't he?
Yeah. Todd's kind of about the same height, but Rod is smaller, which is always cute. And then Rod has some kind of growth spurt at some point. And
Rod's got pink hair.
My Rod's got no hair. Yeah, the hair is sort of, I said this last week as well, like if you look at Todd's hair there, it's not red, it's brown.
Yes.
But you would say that the Flanders are a red-headed family outside of Neddy. But Todd's hair is essentially the same colours as Ned's.
Correct. It's darker in this picture.
And Maude, that's a very classic Maude face right there. That is what you expect. Look, the hair is fantastic, I will say. And I'm just at this point, I'm just happy to see her.
We're all just happy to see it, but here's the point, Zaz. So in the last couple in the last couple of seasons of our show, it's been very patchy, the odd picture on the wall here, the odd mention here. Do you think that we've kind of reached the end of the development of Maude as a character?
Yeah, we're not learning anything new now. We're seeing them sort of like not redefining, sort of like re-examining things they've already set up, which I think you could apply to everybody over 35 seasons, other than like, characters they just haven't really touched before. Like they did an episode last year where Aubrey Plaza was Duffman's daughter.
And that's a story we're all waiting to hear.
Yes, that's just because, they've never done a Duffman episode, so they've not set anything up. But yeah, there's not really any characters you can learn anything new about where it's not gonna just be like, not that they care, but just sort of stupid. Like even the Skinner one, when they tried to do something with Skinner, everybody went absolutely insane when they said he wasn't really Skinner and
Oh yeah, that was
etc.
bad. Right.
etc.
Homer
Yes,
Simpson
that was-
shouts octopus 3 times like a junk. What does why does he
It is a
shout
junk.
octopus?
It's weaker than the Helen joke. They basically say Homer says, "Okay, but if I want to leave at any point on this trip, or they're irritating me, we'll use the code word octopus." And then they come over and sing, and he immediately says octopus
Right.
3
I
times. He
see.
also says it very weirdly. He says like octopus. He doesn't say
Turpus.
yes, steaming. But yeah, I'm glad we finally got up to this day for her. I think
Very good.
she's excited for her trip at this
Well,
point. I think yeah.
she's loving it. So in the next few episodes of our show, do we dig further into this trip, or is that pretty much it?
Oh no, we're gonna dig real deep into this trip. This is what I mean. Like we've had episodes before where Maude has been part of the plot and then gone away for a scene or two, and then come back at like the end of the episode or something. Like
Like mobbing.
yeah, like the burlesque house. She's central in what's going on there, but I don't think she speaks, and then you just see her at the beginning and the end. Whereas this now, she's in bar maybe like a scene. She's in the entire episode.
Well, we had a delightful way to in the olden days. We weren't having to dig for every second of Maude, right? So there were episodes where you kind of you still showed her, but you didn't cover every single second where she was in the background.
That is accurate. No, we did. We
Then I
covered.
stand corrected.
I think we've personally covered every single thing we could, which is why we're on like episode 900. Initially, we weren't going to. We were just going to cover like the big ones, and then like 3 episodes in, I realized it would be more interesting to look at stuff that I couldn't remember.
Certainly is. So, dear listener, if you're expecting any more development, then you need to lower your expectations for the rest of this Maudecast, but it'll be fun. So that's the end of that. And I think this week we said we were going to look at the art, but
Oh yes,
predictably I need to bathroom. So can you check in with our guest?
yes.
Thanks.
How are you doing, guests?
I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. How were they doing? What was it? What are they called again? I can't remember. There was one that was an eggs man, and he's doing the computers, and then there was a falcon who's doing the gardening.
That is accurate. They are both doing well. I assume. I just I got the texts off them
Oh, nice.
because you did the voices. But yeah, they seem that they're doing fine.
Fantastic.
We'll tell it on the mountain, one of them said.
Brilliant. That's kind of a Maude reference that we like from them because, hey, if you're listening to this show, you like Maude Flanders.
That is true. Or us, but probably more.
Definitely Maude.
I will. Spoilers, I've just checked. We, content-wise, when I say this is her biggest appearance, we will, excluding Bongo, which is number 5, we're still on this in number 7. This is number 2. So episodes 3, 4, 6, and 7 are all Fland Canyon.
That's madness.
That's how much she's in it.
That is absolute Maudeness.
Which is why I forgave them for having her not really speak much at the start.
For having her die.
Yes.
10 years ago. That was 10 years ago.
There's a meme that says Maude has been dead for 11 years, and that meme itself is 11 years old.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it.
Yes, it's almost as old as this podcast.
I've got a thing here called art. So what art are we looking at this season?
We are going to look at the fake bongo series that the Maudecast is currently.
Nice. How are we going to do that?
I think I sent you this. I'll just put this in that last week because I've not saved it yet. The Derrida, 2 Derrida pictures and someone else. So we're releasing a comic series.
This one?
With yes. So this is our issue 1.
Is
At
she
first,
one?
it's MCU style, but not C, unless the C stands for comic. So everybody gets their own little adventures, and issue 1 is Derrida and Quantum Pence in Enter the Principality.
Nice.
What do
And
you think?
we have Jacques holding a microphone, and then we have Quantum Pence of Pure Light, and he's got this kind of abstract spacey background. So I'm interested in what happens in that episode.
Yeah, this seems to be a two-hander, two-pack. So and it must be set like this. It must be like a recent Derrida tale because he's only recently gone to the Principality.
He's now a
Well,
baby. He's in the cot right now. He's been very quiet for the last couple of episodes, hasn't he?
Reconstruct. Deconstruct.
yes, he just simply says reconstruct, deconstruct every now and again. Yeah, I like this one. This is one of the only ones. They're all chatbot, archbot, but this is one of the only ones that I put the guinea pig in.
I can tell.
Yes.
But I think it works very well. Did you draw the wings on it?
No, chatbot did everything. I just simply used paint to put that guinea pig in the background, but most of them I just sort of leave as they are.
Nice. Now this one's very cool. So this is Derrida just by himself.
Yes, it's his solo series.
One Life in Paris, and it's a black and white effort with Jock standing mysteriously in the middle of the road being approached by a strange lady.
Yes, this one seems more in the style of noir comic.
The saucy now.
Yes, and I imagine from the title One Life in Paris, this explains his entire. This is probably a series documenting his human life
I
before
imagine-
his ascension or whatever happened to him.
He died.
In eternal life.
He died. I
I
imagine
imagine
it's
this is
being
where he meets the gang as well. Probably appear in this, don't they?
Timothy
The philosopher
Chalaban,
gang,
probably
possibly.
where he meets well, who's in his gang?
Foucault.
Mickey Foucault, R.T. Rambo,
Yeah. Boudoir.
Jimmy Boudoir,
Yes. Boudoir.
Kerry Katona.
Yes. I feel like he meets Kerry later, but he definitely meets the philosophers in his heyday.
Oh yeah, and Guy Debord.
Yes. I also clearly put that Derrida face on this picture.
Yes, you did. That's clear. That's not Arbot, but it's good.
It
And
is
then
still
we-
artbot. It's just a different picture put onto that picture.
All right, it's very good. It's great. Yeah, it's not a Derrida, but it's a great Derrida. And then
Maybe
we
three
go
on.
on to a character that we haven't investigated much recently. Now, since we had our soft reboot, we're not really doing anything with these characters. But
No.
Diane Sharpie, who we know is who's now committed fully to the Melon Planet, and this is the title is House of Melon Part 1.
Yes, parody. All of these titles are the things they were just my first thought. So I just rolled with whatever you get, you get. Most of them puns, some of them references. This being a reference to houses and melons.
That's not how references work.
It is.
References to
And-
ofs.
Yes, parts. She doesn't have any arms again. I think I do definitely give up on this very soon, but again, this is a paint job where she has. But it makes canonical sense because she is turning into a watermelon, so who's to say her arms aren't stumps?
Who's to say? Because one thing we know about watermelons is they don't have arms.
Exactly. And I imagine you find that out in great detail in this tale.
That's it. Just those three, right, for today?
Yeah, but those three are last week's. So do you want me to send you 3 more, or do you want to just miss a week?
We just missed a week. They'll call these this week's.
Yes.
And because last
Deal.
week's I think we talked about the traumas that we were having not being able to find any more mod art, and also we've basically reached the end of logic with that family tree.
Yes. There is no further to go with the family tree, I don't think.
We can
Unless we
invest
just start
like The
looking.
Simpsons. Actually, they expanded as much as it kind of like there's not really a lot of point in adding a lot of new characters here, and there's so much to there's so many characters to dig into, like Jonky Leg Function, the 16th child of
Exactly.
Timothy Mongole.
Donnie, Lonnie, and Suzanne, the triplets.
We've broken it. We threw so much information to that family tree that it has crumbled to the ground.
Yes, it is like one of those stars that collapses in on itself.
And it also
As
looks
does
like in
Maude.
today's episode, it looks like we wrapped up the post-apocalypse as well. So
It seems that way. I disagree, but it seems that way for now until something terrible. Until there's a
but
second apocalypse.
that's a sequel, though, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not
He also
counting that.
wrapped up Roswell.
I know
He
it's
did.
like we're
Literally,
we're wrapping it all up. A good 5 seasons before we finish.
yeah, there's a lot. Like I'm just saying, there's like on this one episode for like. But this is the difference between the old seasons and the new one. This is Maude's in this episode like an extensive amount, and then she's not back for like another full season. You know, as if like her appearances are definitely more spread out in these later seasons. But if she appears, she seems to have something to do.
Yeah, a meaty morsel.
Yes, Maudesel.
A modesty morsel. Now we've got something in here called the Nakis/Derrida catch-up.
Catch up. Yeah, well, we know what's going on with Derrida. He's a baby.
Yeah.
Pierre, what happened with Pierre? Did he just stay down there?
Yeah,
With mice and stuff?
he got his unbrainwashed, and then he went off to go find Selena Estetis, his true love.
Oh yeah, unbeknownst to him, she's a mountain master.
That's
So
true,
that's
isn't
gonna-
it?
We could have told him that actually, but it's funnier if we don't. And Xenakis had a change of heart. I can't remember, and he's off. I don't know. He's off somewhere doing something. Look, we're all caught up.
Do you have time for a diary?
I guess so. Dear diary.
I did it. I did it, diary. It was finally had happened. There was a time in my past where I was walking through the Fland Canyon. Ka-ching. The Fland Canyon. Oh, I've done it twice. Oh dear. The Fland Canyon. Oh, you know what I mean. I was walking through there, and I'll decide when this meeting ends. Zoom. And I was singing with Ned and Todd and the other one, and it was great. And I could hear my voice reverberating through the canyons as we sung that church song by Journey, and that was a great day for me. But then 7 years later, no, 7 months later, something terrible happened. I was at the Quickie Mart and I was just simply singing along to the radio, and it was playing Model by Kraftwerk, the Model, and I was just having a little sing along, and that little bully boy and his little bully friends pointed and laughed at me and said, "Ha ha." And I said, "How could you, database? How could you laugh at me in such a way? I'm so ashamed and embarrassed. I'm never going to sing in public again." And that was until today, when we stole the Simpsons children and I sang I Got You Babe to them, and I felt a new wave of confidence. So maybe I'm going to start singing in crowds again. Maybe I've already written a full diary entry about this. Who knows, diary? Fland Canyon, bye.
Well, I don't really know why those bullies were harassing her. It's too bad she didn't call the police. Get her
Exactly.
children to call the police on them.
We'd like to report a bully. I couldn't think of anything funny.
Then you're very much just like the Simpsons in season 26.
This episode has corrupted me. Not Flanders, said Helen.
Humorously.
Said Helen. Also, we'll just get her to write it on a cue card so we don't have to pay Maggie Roswell any money. We're already paying her for like 30 Maude lines. She's not having a Helen too.
Attention, gossip free zone ahead, because think of the children. That's what the sign says.
Exactly. That is
Warning,
better.
warning, eavesdropping zone, because our children need more bedtime stories.
Yeah, that would be a lot to write, but it's still better. I was just asking Chatbot what her most famous phrase was.
Sorry, Maud, I'd rather not canyonize my patience with a trip like that.
It's just all shit about the children and thinking about them. Yeah,
Shall we finish with a song?
we might as well. Let's wrap up this corpse and throw it in the river.
And then maybe one day we can all go fishing.
Exactly.
But
Or the
his
Blotted
graveyard,
Bottoms.
he is at Abraham Simpson's grave.
What happened in the future? He kisses the gravestone.
Hello, Jaco. Tim is addressing 8 hours later.
Thank you for all spending the eBay.
Rubing Saturday i Fland Canyon.
Omer. Saucy FFM. Behin Ned. Lopok.
Hot Thighs gift certificate.
Floor to Flammelis, Hello Jack.
But Maude is sweet and blue-eyed.
Tim is the soapy old tapo guy.
Friendliest nigger who knows if you get doodle.
Great ducty side, Maude.
Job Flanders CEO had said, shoot thick man's penny.
Well, I guess Job could accept his burgers.
He hissed a chill clearly, sir.
Wafting, go tell it on the mountain.
Over the hills and everywhere.
Round it off, the face is all for you.
Octopus, like a jonk.
Pauses. The end.
The end, we did it. Oh look,
We've
ding
got-
dong.
There's someone else at the door. Who is
There
it?
Oh, it's the-
Hello.
Hello. Who are you?
New jog.
I'm sorry, we're full. Slam.
You're fired.
The truth is, I thought it mattered. I thought that music